welcome to the March episode of Spartan Sports Central, the best sports show in Fort Bend County. We have an exciting episode for you. We welcome baseball coach Corey Gallien, softball coach Christian Arrambide, and boys soccer coach Ruben Perez. Our player profile this week is Spartan's senior track and field athlete, Faith Odigie. Welcome back to your Spartan Sports Central debut. Good to see you, Coach.
Thank you for having me.
All right, so you're the assistant coach. Coach Allen couldn't be here today. We appreciate you representing the Stafford baseball program in his absence. So talk about being part of this program here with the new coaching staff, yourself and Coach Allen.
I'm excited to be here. Stafford so far has been a great place to be. The kids are fantastic. We have a lot of support from the parents and the administration. So I'm happy to be a part of Stafford Spartans. Okay,
and the first game of the season, you guys had a victory over a 5A program, Fort Bend Marshall. I think it was 13-2.
13-2, yeah.
And just talk about, I know you had mentioned to me before the show that you had coached at Marshall. How special was it to go over there and get that victory?
It always feels good to go back home and take a victory. That's always fun. But the guys played really well. Shout out to the Fort Bend Marshall program. They did really well. Just brought back a lot of memories being on the field over there. That's where I started my high school coaching career. So it was good to be back home. It was always good to take home a win, especially a 13-2 win.
And then what are some of the strengths for the Stafford baseball program?
Our strengths right now are defense. Our emphasis is defense, and it happens to be one of our strengths, especially with Dylan Smith on the mound. He's a great pitcher. We have another good pitcher in Kevin Montiva also. He's pretty good. So a lot of our games have been low-scoring games, but it's to the fact of our defense keeping everybody down.
Okay, and then Dylan Smith, of course, committed to University of Alabama, and you have some other talented kids. But what about the senior class?
We only have 2 seniors, so the benefit for us is a lot of these guys will be back for the next year, and they're showing a lot of promise already. So we're looking forward to next year as well.
Okay, and then I know every year it's a pretty competitive district. You got the likes of Columbus and Needville and Sealy. What's it going to be like going up against those guys?
We always just want a fighting chance. And I think with the guys that we have right now, we can do that. We can just fight with you, and we'll see where the cards fall. Okay.
So I know that you mentioned before the show that you had grew up here in the Fort Bend area and went to Elkins High School, or graduated from Elkins, but prior to that you went to Strake Jesuit, where you played for Coach Savannah.
Yes.
So just talk about that experience and what led you to Stafford.
Wow, Coach Savannah has been a big influence in my life since high school, obviously. So it feels great to come back and work with him and see it from the other side. Yes, I am a Fort Bend product, so it's also just good to be home.
Okay, yeah, and we're glad to have you here with the program. So in addition to your responsibilities in baseball, you're also going to be the offensive coordinator. You were the co-offensive coordinator last year. So any thoughts? I know we're probably jumping ahead a little bit looking at football season, but any thoughts on being the sole offensive coordinator next year?
It's exciting. It's exciting. We have a good group of guys. Again, a lot of young talent that should be primed and ready to go this season. We're looking forward to being a little bit more up-tempo, and hopefully we can score a lot more points.
Okay. So when you were in high school at Strake and then at Elkins, did you play baseball and football?
I did play baseball and football.
Okay, and then at the college level?
College, I was a walk-on at Tennessee State, and Savannah had a big part in that also. He called the coaches for me, and I went down as a preferred walk-on and spent a couple of years there before I came home.
And was that for baseball or football?
For football.
For football?
For football, yes.
Okay. So I know last year the baseball team had kind of a tough season. What do you kind of take away from that going into into this year?
It's a new year, and whatever happened in the past is there. It's with a new staff. Me and Coach Allen, I think we bring a lot more energy, and we're just looking forward to hopefully making these guys produce to where we know that they can.
Well, you talked about the pitching. What about at the plate? Who are some of your talented hitters?
Aaron Cardenas, right now, he's leading the team. He's got I think he's batting .667 right now. He's been really clutch. Jeremy Torres is our third baseman. I believe he's a junior as well. He's leads the team in RBIs. Early in the season, I think the offense tends to struggle a little bit more than the defense does, but we're coming around.
So one thing that has to be frustrating for you guys is you have a home game. I think your first home game is Monday. You got a Monday and a Tuesday home game. But from almost a month, you guys have been on the road. Has that been a challenge?
It has. You know, the district is all spread out, so we travel quite a distance. But it doesn't matter. We're here to play baseball. We're going to go out and do the best we can, just have some fun.
Okay. So what do you think the keys to victory will be this season for you guys?
Just execution. In all sports, it just comes down to execution and being able to do the things that we ask you to do in the situation that we're asked.
Okay, well, we appreciate you being on the show, Coach. And next up, we have the player profile, Faith Odigie. Faith Odigie went to state last year on a relay team. She is looking forward to returning to Austin as an individual and on a relay team. Here's our player profile.
When a new coach takes the field, there's usually a period of building rapport with and among the players. But head girls track coach Franchelle Hill took the reins with the support system already in place.
It's been an interesting transition. You know, this is my first year here at Stafford, and everybody kept talking about this Faith. And I was just like, okay, I don't know her, never met her. And then one day she came up to me and was like, when are track tryouts? And I was like, I told her the date, and then they were like, Coach, that's Faith. I was like, oh, wait, I was supposed to be nice. So, you know, meeting Faith and learning Faith, you know, she is a wonderful student athlete. She puts her best forth every day. We argue every day, but she always does and gives 110% of what I ask. She is the only senior on this team. She is been on this track team for 4 years. She's been on varsity for 4 years. So, you know, having her a part of this team has been just miraculous because she works hard, she motivates everybody, and she's always the one to pick everybody up and say, you got it, let's just keep doing this. Even when she can't do it, she's always trying to motivate somebody else too.
Faith is a veteran of the 4x100 relay, qualifying for state last year. She reviews that accomplishment and sets her vision for this season.
Last year to qualify for state, it took a lot of hard work. We had to come together as a team and just figure out what worked for us for handoffs. It took a lot of compromising after school activities to come track practice. My goal for the first track meet is to run to 11.2. I want to make it to state in the 4x1, the 100, all of our events. We would like to compete strong, stay healthy.
Both coach and player believe this team has what it takes.
I think this team has the ability to not only go back, but to win. As long as they continue to work hard and do the things that are prescribed for them, this team has so much talent, and they're so young and so impressionable, and they're really ready to make a difference at this school.
They work hard, and they're ready for it.
For some student athletes, the playing field and the classroom are two separate spaces. But for Faith, both are part of a larger long-term goal.
Well, I've been doing track since freshman year, so it's been a process learning like what activities I could and couldn't do to balance. So like if I have another activity before, I just have to make sure I'm out and track on time to get the full workout. Practice every day, practice hard, give it my all, everything full out. Anatomy's helping me out a lot because it follows up for my career plan. That would be my favorite class as of now. I would like to run track at Prairie A&M, and I want to be a neonatologist when I grow up. I just like newborns, and ever since I was younger, I've always wanted to work with babies. I don't know, and especially the ones at 6, they're for me.
Coach Hill has some advice for Faith as she moves into the next phase of her journey.
The biggest advice that I would give her is to stay positive, stay a hard worker, continue to drive towards her goals and to believe that she can. The biggest thing that I believe that messes an athlete up from being great and good is the belief that they can. And just having that self-confidence and always remembering that this is your journey and nobody can take it away from you.
We're looking forward to watching this Faith move mountains. For Spartan Sports Central, I'm Stacy Hawkins.
All right, she's having a great season so far. Next up is softball with Coach Christian Arrambide. Hello, and welcome back to the show. Coach Christian Arrambide and the Lady Spartans have enjoyed a strong start to their season with victories over Fulshire and Wharton this season. Welcome back to the show, Coach.
Thanks for having me.
All right, so you guys have a district opener coming up on Monday. It's against Needville. Last year you beat Needville for the first time in program history. They're a powerhouse. Talk about opening the district.
Yeah, we open up with them pretty much every year, and it's over spring break. We play them on Monday, and we're really looking forward to the district season this year. We've had a pretty good preseason, some tough matchups. We've been in some tough games, and hopefully we've prepared ourselves to get ready for district and have a successful run at a playoff.
Okay, so like you said, not the record you want going into non-district, but non-district records don't really matter, but it's the experience you get.
Exactly.
What kind of experience have you guys had?
We've been in some tough one-run ball games. We've been in some extra inning games, and so those are always good things to have before you get to district. That way, you know, if you get put in that situation, we've been there. So we have a few young players, some first-year varsity kids, and so it was good for them to get those tough experiences early in the year.
So non-district, you played two teams that are going to be in your district next year. Fulshire, you beat them 20-5.
Yes.
I think Wharton was like 7-3 or 8-3. So talk about, you know, beating those teams.
You know, with Fulshire, we didn't know what we were going to get with them being a newer school. So it was kind of a refreshing victory for us to go out there.
Yeah, they had a 4-0 lead.
Yeah, they started off, they came out hot on us, and we just hung in there. The girls never quit, and they just stayed with it, and we ended up being successful at the end.
How have these tournaments been? Have they been preparing you pretty well?
The tournaments have been good. Again, a lot of good competition and a lot of rain. So we've kind of dealt with, you know, rain and postponing games and moving and waiting, and so it's been a little bit of a different experience too as well with the weather that we've had early in the season.
So you have three seniors, Alyssa Jackson, Emma Daniel, and then your pitcher, Ashley Hudson. So talk about the senior leadership on this team.
3 strong kids, man. I couldn't ask for any better leaders than those 3 right there. Alyssa Jackson's our starting center fielder. She's my leadoff hitter. She's already got 4 home runs on the season. And Ashley Hudson, of course, is our starting pitcher. She's our highest batting average right now. She's leading in RBIs, so she brings both defense and offense. And then Emma Daniel is just a glove on third base for us. It's hard to get the ball by her, so we're lucky to have them this last year, and they will be missed greatly whenever they graduate. So.
And then you talk about Emma Daniel. 2 of her siblings are on the varsity team as well.
She's got 2 younger sisters coming up. The sophomore, Stephanie Daniel, is our catcher, and then a junior first baseman, Nia Scott, is the other sister. So there's 3 of them, all from the same family.
What's it like having 3 siblings on the team?
It depends on the day. You know, sometimes you have to separate them, make sure they don't partner up too much because they live together at home, and you know, so you have to make sure that you have a good balance of them not, you know, getting on each other's nerves, but then they're also there to pick each other up like family always does, so that's a good thing.
Okay, and then you have a birthday coming up, and we would say, what would you want for a birthday present, of course, other than another Saints Super Bowl? We know you're a big New Orleans Saints fan.
Who dat?
But would it be, you could tell us what it would
You know,
be?
this year our goal is to make the playoffs.
Okay.
It's been a few years since we've made it. Since 2014 was the last time we've been.
Okay.
So we kind of set that goal early in the year and to try to steal a playoff spot and get in. So I mean, that would be a, you know, a nice thing to have happen.
Okay, well, thanks for being on the show, Coach.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. All right, so next up is our interview with Ruben Perez, the boys soccer coach. Welcome back to Spartan Sports Central. Stafford High boys soccer coach Ruben Perez and his team have set their sights on a district championship. Welcome back to the show, Coach Perez.
I'm glad to be here, Mike. Thank you.
All right, so I know you were just telling me before the show that you guys, the last 2 years, you shared the district championship. This year, I know sharing is usually good, but in this case, you kind of want it to yourselves.
It was one of our early goals from early part of the year. We said we wanted to come out and be the outright district champs because we've shared the district title the last 2 years with Royal, who has a very good program as well. And this year we really set our sights on winning it outright.
And then speaking of Royal, for some of you who follow our boys soccer program very closely, we had a game where we were leading Royal 2-1 with about 20 minutes left. It was called due to lightning, but even though we were winning, they gave us a tie. And then Coach and I thought that that's how it was going to be, unfortunately. And then Coach told me that turned around, that we were subsequently awarded the victory. Just talk about that process.
Yes, well, according to our district minutes on that evening, it said tie, and it would reward each team 1.5 points. Well, I looked into it a little closer and asked the district committee to take a look at that and make sure I understood the rule correctly. And as they looked into it, they said, well, according to UIL rule, if somebody's ahead in the second half and there's lightning or weather or something uncontrollable, that the team that's ahead at the time would be awarded the win, which seems, it's not the fairest thing, but it seemed a little better than having a team that's up. Let's say somebody was up 3-0 and lightning was called with about 20 minutes left in the second half. I don't think it'd be right if those teams were both awarded a tie. So I think we got it right when the district chair stepped in and was able to decide that for us.
Okay, great. So I guess senior class, do you have some, you said you had about 12 seniors?
I have about 12 seniors, and it's been a little different this year because we've had to move guys around to do different things for us, which is great as far as just having guys playing different positions and being able to help in different ways. We've had several guys, like one in particular, Efren Arias, as a senior, has always been a defender. As a matter of fact, he was the district defensive MVP last year. Well, this year, utilizing his speed and other attributes, he's been able to play some forward for us and has scored about 9 goals so far this season for us. And at the same time, in tight ball games, we're able to pull him back and let him play some defender for us as well in order for us to secure wins.
I know last year you guys had a really tough loss in the second round of the playoffs. 2 years ago you went to the 4th round, but last year was a tough loss to Navasota. What are you thinking about this year as far as a deep playoff run?
Well, of course, we're hoping to make a deep playoff run once again. I mean, it's also one of our goals that we've set early on. Like we tell the kids all the time, I mean, if you don't have your A game on any particular night, whether it's district, whether it's a playoff game, whatever it may be, and another team is able to get a win on you, I mean, it happens, The trick is hopefully not to have bad nights, of course, and let the chips fall where they may as you are able to play the very best you can play that particular evening.
Okay, and then what are some other highlights for you this season?
We had a couple of tournaments. We hosted a tournament. We've hosted for the last 2-3 years, I believe.
Spartan Cup.
The Spartan Cup, and that's been good competition for us. We always go to Brenham, the Brenham Select Cup, early on in the year to kind of figure out, where we have guys playing and who can help us where, and any tweaks and changes we might need to make. We had a good non-district schedule. We went to El Campo and beat them there for the first time, I believe. At least since I've been the head coach, we beat El Campo there at their place. We had a good match with Navasota, a rematch, so to speak, and ended up tying with those guys after we were down 2-1 with about 2 minutes left, or 10 minutes left, excuse me. So, yeah.
Yeah, and then finally, I had a chance to visit your hometown of Karnes City. Some of the people back there may be watching on YouTube. Anything you want to say to the folks back home?
I'll just I know it's changed a lot since I've been there because of the different growth and different things, but it's still, my hometown, my favorite place to go whenever I get a chance to, and I wish all the Badgers the best.
Well, thanks for being on the show, Coach, and thanks for being a Spartan.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, well, that is it for our episode. We appreciate you tuning in, and we hope everyone has a great and safe spring break.
This program was produced on the Stafford campus of Houston Community College.